Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA, episode 336. I am Brendan. All right, UFC Fight Night, Dawson versus Green. There's going to be the prelims, right? Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Belbita, and the rest of the prelims are going to break them all down. If you're looking for a specific fight, timestamps are down below. Subscribe to the channel. That way you know when the next video is coming out, and it'll help me out too. I appreciate it. All right, let's start talking about some fights, huh? Oh, okay. Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her name. Kowalkiewicz or Kowalkiewicz, right? So if you guys know how to pronounce it properly, please let me know down below, please. Please. All right, Belbita with the low kicks and Kowalkiewicz with the volume up top. Nice jab for Kowalkiewicz and some uppercuts in the clinch. Belbita using the head and arm throw, but gets her back taken, as you should every single time. That's a horrible throw. Shouldn't use it in MMA. The fact that it still works at all is ridiculous. Belbita reverses and they get back up. Belbita landing the hardest right hand of the round so far. Really close round with the striking going back and forth. I know Belbita landed the hardest punch, because of that, I leaned her way. Now, let's look. 39-35 in favor of Kowalkiewicz. Understandable if you gave this to Kowalkiewicz. I lean towards Belbita in this round. All right. I just felt like the striking numbers were close enough, and she landed the hardest shot of that round. It was super close. The first two rounds were really close. So if you gave that to her, I totally understand. No problem. I just lean towards Belbita. All right. Back and forth through the first half of the second round here, neither woman really separating themselves, right? And then another close round with Kowalkiewicz doing really well until the last 30 seconds, which I had Belbita doing better in the last 30 seconds. So the thing is, if you look at the damage because of the numbers here, 41-30 in favor of Kowalkiewicz, I might have missed something, right? I guess when I was watching it, I guess I didn't score her shots as well as I could have. I thought Belbita won the second round too. But it was, really close round. I just felt like in the last 30 seconds, because leading up to that, I felt like they're going 1 for 1, 2 for 2. And I guess Kowalkiewicz almost doubled up on her for the head strikes. But I felt like they're going 1 for 1. And then near the end there, Belbita started to turn it up. And that might just be recency bias. I usually try to pay attention to that stuff, but I guess I didn't in this round. On the last round here, Kowalkiewicz staying in her face with a ton of output. This round wasn't even close. Easily Kowalkiewicz best round. I had a 29-28 for Belbita, but it was really close. If you look at the scorecards here, all three judges gave it 30-27 in favor of Kowalkiewicz. Does it mean I was way off my rocker? Not necessarily. Not for just this fight. Not for this reason. I might be off my rocker for other reasons. Fun fight to watch. Lots of action. All right. Mateus Mendonca versus Nate Maness. Oh, wait. Mendonca. Mateus Mendonca versus Nate Maness. They threw Maness in here to get slaughtered. You know they did. They want Mateus to come up here. He's the up-and-comer. He's a Brazilian, so he's going to be cheap. There's a lot of business reasons to push him, okay? A lot, right? And because of that, they're pushing him hard, and Maness Mendonca is like in his face with low kicks and body kicks and the body lock going for the takedown, but Mendonca was going for a leg lock and kept using that he used that to get back up to the single and then diving on another leg lock attempt. And then Maness just started landing nasty ground and pound. Look at the striking numbers here, 29-3, and most of that was on the ground when Mateus was going for the frickin' leg lock attempts. Maness stands up and starts landing some of the hardest shots, and the ref stops it. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with the timing of the stoppage. I felt like it was odd when he stopped it. Those weren't the hardest shots, and clearly Mendonca was had his wits about him and was actively defending. I guess the volume is just what did it. Why is my nose running like that again? Nate Maness says, I'm an up-and-comer. This is me. So, Kanako Murata versus Vanessa Demopoulos. This was weird. I want to see the numbers on this one. You guys let me know what you guys thought. This one was, I think they got this one wrong. Let's talk about it. Let's look at numbers and see if I'm crazy. Murata looks so much smaller, it's crazy. And that's the other thing, is she looks tiny compared to Demopoulos. Murata with the low kicks and kicks to the body. Demopoulos landing knees to the body in the clinch. Murata works hard and gets a takedown against the fence. Murata landing a 1-2, darts in and out. Demopoulos jumps guard. A close round. I lean towards the Demopoulos for the damage, but just barely. Right, Demopoulos landing some kicks and some straight rights to the body. So that first round, I had her up 10-9, 17-9 for the striking numbers. Demopoulos landing some kicks and straights to the body, but then Murata gets a takedown and spends the rest of the round on top. I have it, and then Murata. So here, look at the striking numbers here, guys. This is the key to the second round. 4 minutes and 11 seconds of control time. Total strikes 35-30 in favor of Demopoulos, but remember that's from a disadvantageous position. The significant strikes were tied 9-9. Everything is virtually identical except she was on her back the entire round. Okay, there is no way in hell. I don't care. You can look at the strikes and be like, oh, well, she was doing more damage from the bottom. No, she was not. And even if she was, it's barely. Look at the striking numbers. They're in your face. 35-30. She landed 5 more total strikes than Murata did. And remember, 5 more total strikes while being on her back. The second most disadvantageous position you can be in MMA, other than someone on your back, right? Clearly, Murata's round, 19-19. Last round, not much. This fight's not much fun to watch either. Murata catches a kick and pulls her down, and then lands 3 hard right hands. Demopoulos gets up with 15 seconds left, and then gets lifted and dumped. And I was like, there is no way she wins this. It's Murata all the way. Look at the striking numbers here: 16-5 in favor of Murata. And then Vanessa Demopoulos gets the win, and she's just as surprised as everyone else that she got the one. And then there's a cut on Murata, but that came from a headbutt. So that damage should not have been scored. Looking at the scores, all 3 judges gave that second round to Demopoulos for being active off her back. Now, you can say, oh, well, she was attempting submissions. She did, huh? What submission attempt? What submission attempt? Because it looks like it says 0 here. And you can be like, oh, well, maybe the scoring criteria, or maybe they didn't get it when they were doing the stats. No, they got it. She didn't have any submission attempts. She had submission setups. Those are different. And then Demopoulos says afterwards, like, oh, she did a good job controlling me, but I was the one controlling the fight. No, you weren't. You were on your ass. You were on your back. You did nothing. You did nothing. You did nothing. No, it's ridiculous. I'm all for giving a fighter who's on their back and active the round when it's clear that they have done more to try and end the fight, when they do more damage, when they're constantly throwing up submissions and getting them close to getting a finish. There are ways to win off your back. Now, when all things are equal, when striking is equal, when submission attempts are equal, the person on their back is losing. They're losing. That's just the way it is. Because whether or not you're a submission artist, whether or not you have the ability to finish the fight off your back, is irrelevant if you don't do it. Okay? You can say like, oh, well, in jiu-jitsu, a full guard is 50-50. The person on top has just as much opportunity. In fact, it might be more beneficial for the person on the bottom. Yeah. Okay. But remember, in jiu-jitsu, you can't strike. Right? So the person on top can strike with more force than the person on bottom. All other things being equal. Okay? So, and again, that's all theoretical bullshit. That doesn't matter when you look at what actually happens. Because when you look at what happens, you can lay everything out. She was active off her back. Great. Murata was active on top. Awesome. Those two cancel each other out. If Murata did nothing, if you looked at these striking numbers, and this said 0 or 10 for Murata and 35 for Demopoulos, and she had 2 submission attempts, now we're talking. Okay? That is not what we had here. We had virtually identical striking numbers for all intents and purposes. Like, there is no way that you're going to tell me 5 strikes off her back made the difference here, that they were so significant that they swung this 4 minutes of ass time in her favor. Bullshit. Murata got the shaft here. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. That's a bad scorecard on all 3 judges. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. Eric Colon, Saul D'Amato, and Chris Lee. No. You got that one wrong. You got it wrong. All right. Let's talk about a fun fight to watch, not just bitch about, huh? Aoriqileng versus Johnny Munoz. I gotta love the Mongolians with the single name. I mean that really. Like, I like that. Makes things simple. Nothing but low kicks from Aoriqileng for over a minute. Hard right hand landing after an inside kick for Aoriqileng. Both guys land hard right hands. Munoz gets the better of it, moves in for a takedown. Munoz gets to the back, stays on it, going for an armbar to end the round. Takes a hard right hand at the end of the round. This one is one of those rounds where if you go off of pure damage, Aoriqileng should win this round. But something about it gave it to Munoz for me. Now, he did get outstruck, but he did land the biggest strike, and he was on top for 3 minutes. He was in control for 3 minutes. He was on his back for 3 minutes and had a legit sub attempt at the end of the round. Now, he did take a big strike at the end of it. So here's the thing. If you gave this a Aoriqileng, totally get you. You gave this to Munoz, I understand it. This is how I gave it to Munoz. Aoriqileng probably should have won this round, but there's something about it that just, it leaned towards Munoz for me. Okay. It might be wrong, and you're more than welcome to disagree with me, so let me know how you scored it. Aoriqileng in his face lands a hard right hand in the second round here, staggering him. Munoz panic takedown, hard low kick, and a bomb of a right hook as Munoz enters. Aoriqileng able to stay on the feet and dominate this round 19-19. Easy peasy. Look at that, 13-1 in favor of Aoriqileng. Munoz did nothing. You did nothing. Aoriqileng staying in his face, landing hard right hand to the body and a low kick. Munoz only going for takedowns now. Hard left hook to the body from Aoriqileng, and Munoz enters one more time. Munoz with sloppy shots, and again, this round not even close. 24-5 in favor of Aoriqileng. And looking at the judges' scorecards here, Junichiro Kamijo, Jacob Montalvo, and Chris Lee all gave it to Johnny Munoz in the first round. Right? They gave the fight obviously to Aoriqileng, which is right. Okay. Just because they agree with me doesn't mean they're right necessarily. It's one of those things where, like, I understand it. If they gave that first round to Aoriqileng, makes sense. Makes sense. All right, let's talk about another one. This was I didn't think it was as cut and dry as the commentary made it. JJ Aldrich versus Montana de la Rosa. You know, like I said, commentary, especially DC, they're just cut and dry. Like, there is no way Montana de la Rosa won this fight. Just absolutely none. It was close. It was closer than they're making it out to be. We'll talk about it. So, De La Rosa was swinging big to enter. Aldrich stepping back, taking a couple shots. De La Rosa counters the low kick, lands a hard right hand. Aldrich landing a nice jab as she steps in, is avoiding the big shots coming back at her for the most part. Aldrich doing a better job with what she wanted to do in this round, 10-9. Now, look at the striking numbers here, 19-19. Aldrich landed the bigger shots. I gave her more of it, and if you want to get nitty-gritty here and say the damage was equal from the significant strikes, she beat her on the she didn't beat her on the total strikes. She beat her in the head strikes, right? Right, so that was the difference maker, 18-14. De La Rosa landing a good body kick and a nice right hand. De La Rosa is landing more this round. Aldrich just waiting too much early on, and then she started to catch up. De La Rosa landed the better shots, I felt, in this round, and she outstruck her 21-20. I thought it was close. They were talking about Aldrich landing the better shots. Now, I felt like the leg kicks and the body shots from De La Rosa did enough, but the reason why they all thought Aldrich outlanded her, it was on display. Here, guys, if you've made it this far to the video, hit the like button. I appreciate you. But no, go back and watch this just to listen to the commentary. This is an excellent example, if you listen to the commentary, of how headshots change the perception of a fight. Okay, she got outstruck, but they're talking about damage, and they're talking about this, and partially that's correct, right? A hard punch to the face is more damaging in general than a hard punch to the leg, right? I know those are stupid examples, but that's really what we're going with here, because you say, well, what about a leg kick versus jab? Now, see, that's a really good example, because sometimes a leg kick is more damaging than the jab. But the jab pops the head back and, snaps him, makes him stumble a little bit. But the leg kick, it just, it's kind of, it's just knocking him off balance. It's not the same, right? It doesn't have that same impact visually. So listen to the commentary and you'll see the exact reason why judges favor and tend to reward head strikes over everything else. Now, the other stuff is important, but if you're going to win a point battle, Head strikes are probably the most important thing you can throw out there. Throwing that jab out there, making their head snap back. You can land all the leg kicks you want in the world, but you got to use jabs too. Otherwise, they're not going to score him. They're not going to score him as well. We saw it. All right. I thought De La Rosa won the second round. If you gave it to Aldrich, I totally understand. This round was very close in my opinion. Now, you can say that J.J. Aldrich landed the bigger shots towards the head. Sure. I thought the body shots from De La Rosa were really good. I thought the leg shots were really good. I thought De La Rosa did enough in this round to win it. So I had it tied going into the third. Then DC says that JJ won the first two rounds, like hands down. There's no way that De La Rosa won either one of those rounds. Go back and watch them for yourselves. Let me know what you guys thought. Nice elbow in the clinch break from De La Rosa moving forward. Aldrich lands a hard left hand. They trade 1-2s. I wrote that. DC needs to shut up. Aldrich did land the more powerful shots in this last round, but it was still close. Look at the striking numbers yet again. 27-26 in favor of De La Rosa. She was mixing it up really well. Aldrich headhunting for the most part, and she did a lot of damage with it. I did give Aldrich this fight. There's no question of that for me. And then all three judges gave all three rounds to Aldrich. For the reason I am saying, right, that I said. It's because of that. It's because of those head strikes, right? That's what made the difference. All right. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. It means a lot to me. Subscribe to the channel if you know, so you know when the next video is coming out. Helps me out too. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have an amazing week. If you look for the Bellator stuff, it's the next video. Love you guys.